Well, as the Queen prepares to celebrate her Platinum Jubilee, the world's been given a glimpse at previously unseen footage of her life growing up as a young princess.
I remember my own childhood. My mother always gave me support and encouragement.
All parents would like their children to grow up in peace and tranquility.
No official announcement of the princess's engagement had yet been made.
The name of Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten, formerly Prince Philip of Greece, has been repeatedly mentioned throughout the world.
I remember my own lifelong commitment, made in 1947 at the age of 21. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
God.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a time warp. For more, we're joined by former Palace Press Secretary Dickie Arbiter in London. Dickie, so good to see you. Lovely to see you bright and early on a London evening. It's just aired in the UK. What did you think?
It was a terrific documentary. It was an hour and a quarter, and it was very moving. And what made it more moving was that there was commentary by the Queen about the family, what came across, and this is all home movies and still photographs taken by the royal family, a lot of it taken by the King and the late Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. It showed a united family. They were so united. They were one. They adored each other. The King adored his daughters, used to refer to Elizabeth as his pride and Margaret as his joy. And I would have thought the Queen saw it, and I would have thought it brought back a lot of sad memories for her, because she lost her father at a very young age. She came to the throne age 25, and it would have brought back a flood of memories.
Yeah, and just for you personally watching it, Dickie, I mean, this is someone that you worked alongside the Queen, you worked for the Queen for many years. How did you feel about it?
I felt terrific about it. It was wonderful to see this 96-year-old lady from the day that she was born, growing up with her family. Her family adored her. They were very, very inclusive. And it was lovely to see, despite Albert, who became George VI, having to take over from his brother, despite the war years, despite his illness, he had cancer, they were a united family. And what was very sad, and I've seen this many times, was to see the footage of him saying goodbye to Princess Elizabeth, as she was, and the Duke of Edinburgh, as they were heading for Australia via Kenya. She left a princess, she came back a queen, and it was just a very, very moving documentary.
It's nice to see the vision, because despite the fact that they're in suits playing in the backyard, it kind of looks like a normal family.
It was a very, very normal family. I think people will be surprised, having seen the video, the movies taken by them. We've seen the Queen using a movie camera time and time again. People will be surprised how the family, because it was thrust into the sort of forefront of the monarchy, it was still united. It still managed downtime. It still managed time together, something that the Queen unfortunately didn't have, because she came to the throne early. The coronation came 69 years ago, and she was off for 6 months on a tour of the Commonwealth, and she had to leave 2 young children behind, whereas she grew up with a family, and they never left her behind, because that wasn't their role until 1936, 1937.
You just get that real sense of duty that she felt towards her country and the Commonwealth, don't you? And look, Dickie, this is all, of course, as Platinum Jubilee preparations are underway. They've been underway for months now. What's the mood in London right now?
The mood is beginning to electrify. The Brits are very slow to sort of take up and get excited. They get terribly excited on the day itself, but leading up to it, it's rather slow. I mean, I've got the Union flag flying outside my apartment. You look around the suburbs, there are a few Union flags. Going to the centre of London, Regent Street is bedecked with flags. Every building has got flags. Oxford Street is a bit slow. It will become a flag country, a flag city, wherever you go. And of course, what is happening as well, there are going to be street parties on Sunday. Something like 16,000 street parties have been arranged. That's a lot of street parties throughout the UK.
Good time to be there. I love London. Look, just one more thing. It looked like it was Prince William out and about on the weekend doing rehearsals, and it looked like his horse had a big weekend. There are accusations that the horse was drugged in order to keep it in order.
Well, I watched the rehearsal, and it did seem very strange. The horse's head, George, which is a household cavalry horse, his head was hanging low. Now, whether he had something wrong with him or whether he's drugged, as is being alleged, that remains to be seen. That's for the household cavalry to investigate and investigate thoroughly, because they're very conscious of their horses. They're very conscious of the well-being of their horses, and they don't want anything to come amiss at the time of Trooping the Colour this coming Thursday. So they will investigate. The horse did look lethargic. Maybe it wasn't drugged. Maybe there was something wrong with it. But we'll know in the fullness of time.
And maybe it had been to one of those street parties that you're famous for over there. Good on you, Dickie. Lovely to see your smiling face. We'll see you soon. Ali.
It's another royal scandal.